Hey everyone, a quick and dirty video here since I'm still out traveling, but the website just updated yesterday with a new subscription tier for the TapThatDraft responsive features. So making pick recommendations and also at the moment synchronization with ESPN. The demonstration I'm giving is for snake drafts. And let's just say that we're going against ESPN draft room ordering. Now it's going to generate the draft list that's optimized for my roster settings, for my scoring settings, and for the league size, the number of teams in the league. So here's the output. Importantly, at the moment, you can see I'm pick number 3. I'm going to go with that. And the new feature here is that when it's your turn, this table of 4 positions is going to show your suggested pick. What it does when it's not your turn is say who it thinks your league mates are most likely to pick. So let's just click those. You can click up here. You can also click down here for them. And when it's your turn, it's going to look a little bit different. You're going to see an indication of the look ahead. So what it's doing is essentially telling you that it's considering positional value drop-offs, or cliffs in positional value, positional scarcity, looking ahead. So if you might miss out on one position by waiting now, it's going to consider that. But it's all summarized here at the top. So you can see it's suggesting I take Jamar Chase. So let's just do that. I'm just going to click through here while I talk a little bit. The key added feature this year was the team tracking. That means that it's keeping track of which positions the other teams have filled so far. And that gets especially important around the turn, which you're seeing coming up at the 2.8 pick down there, because there are 4 selections to be made between then and the next turn. So it's actually going to consider that would be teams number 1 and 2, choosing before I'll get my next chance. And it's already considered it. So it's looked ahead at who it thinks those 2 teams are likely to choose, so I can know whether I can hold off on a position or whether I should reach before they grab a position that they need. So that's part of the roster tracking, in addition to the positional value drop-offs, and in addition to optionality, which means that you might get an advantage by not filling your onesies positions, tight end or quarterback in this case, first. So, all right, and then it continues through here. And I know no one would do this, but I want to show that you can also tell it to draft a kicker and record that. It doesn't say specifically which kicker because that's not part of the value-based drafting in this tool, but you can do that. All right, and then when it's your turn again, you again get this percentage. And if I have a whole other video if you wanted to do auto mock. So if you click this button here, then it's going to switch to a mode of it will simulate the other teams making their own choices. So let me click here, and you'll see that it will fill up all the roster spots of the other picks, and it's my turn again very quickly. So if you want to test your strategies, you can do that. All right, but let's switch on over to ESPN Draft Room so I can show you how the new Chrome extension works for ESPN synchronization. So I'm going to just jump over here and find a team. Let me close the side panel, then I can show you how that's working. All right, here we are. We're going to the draft room. So I can see I'm going to be pick number 7. Enter the draft. Now to open the extension after you install it, you click the little puzzle piece up here and you get this. Now we're going to tell it to use this draft, and it's going to identify that there is a disconnection here. So let's go back to this room and click ESPN Sync and connect to the Chrome extension. That's the solution. We use this draft, and we need to clear picks because remember I just made some selections, so we do that. Keep them out. And it now has updated it. Well, if it wasn't a 10 team, now it is. So basically everything is set up for when the draft is about to start. The sync tool looks pretty simple, and it's basically generating now those 4 positions and who I should likely pick, and it's saying I should take Christian McCaffrey. I'll do that in a second, but I want to show you, if you hover your cursor, you can also see who the next best ones are according to your ranking. In the meantime, when it's not your turn, and they're doing auto draft right now, because I'm alone in this draft room. Okay, so we're going to wait for a second for the new pick priorities to show up, and it's saying take another running back, James Cook. So I can follow that, or I can disregard it, but I see him near the top here, so I'm going to take it. And you also have the option to open up the the panel for Tap That Draft. So follow along also here instead of just looking over at your priorities over here. But these should reflect what's over there. So suggesting Nico Collins. I'll do that in a second, but I also want to point out that you can click on the draft board. You can see here the draft board is showing how all the teams have picked so far, and it's also giving us some value-based drafting value for your. So my team here, number 7, it's at 248. If things are going great, then you should see that hopefully your team is the best. The other ADP val here is basically, since I've chosen the ESPN draft room, it's adding up how does ESPN draft room, if it were evaluated that way, how would the scores add up? Anyway, I'm done with this. I'm going to leave this now. But hopefully you got to see how this extension is working. It's integrated all the parts of the tool in the case of ESPN. For me, the most interesting aspect is helping you prioritize and look ahead and find those steals based on trying to guess how your league mates are going to make their picks. I wish everyone good luck. Be back later with more.